And Joseph's brethren came and bowed down themselves before him with their faces to the earth. And Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them, but made himself strange unto them, and spake roughly unto them. And Joseph knew his brethren, but they knew not him. But they knew not him. But they knew not him. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water, and filled the troughs to water their father's flock. And the shepherds came and drove them away, but Moses stood up and helped them, and watered their flock. And when they came to Reuel their father, he said, How is it that ye are come so soon today? And they said, An Egyptian delivered us, an Egyptian delivered us.
do not tell the truth. They're liars. And they manipulate our history books. The history books are not true. It's a lie. The history books are lying. You need to know that. You must know that.
And the Lord said furthermore unto him, Put now thine hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. And he said, Put thine hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again, and plucked it out of his bosom, and behold, it was turned again as his other flesh. As his other flesh.
Now, it has to be understood as simple as it may appear. Egypt is in Africa. The relationship between the Egyptians and the Hebrew Israelites is one of vital importance. For one, it was the Hebrews that eventually and prolifically populated the land of Egypt. And the large growth of the Hebrew population became a major concern to Pharaoh, even to the point of hysteria. The Hebrews were rapidly growing in numbers. And another reason Egypt is important to identifying the true Hebrews is this: the skin color, the complexion, and the hair texture was identical to the Egyptian people. But the racial identity of the Hebrew Israelites is clearly established. The Hebrews and the Egyptians were an entirely different race of people. This is the reason why Moses was able to pass as the son of the daughter of Pharaoh. There is no doubting the presence of the Hebrews in Egypt as slaves. They were depicted along with the Egyptians on the monuments, the walls, and even in the temples. But they were not identically or racially Egyptian or even African, though they were in every way identical. But they were very much a part of the Egyptian civilization and population. And finally, the Hebrews depicted on the walls along with the Egyptians are now known today as Negroes. Exodus, the 2nd chapter, verse 6. And when she had opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the babe wept. And she had compassion on him and said, This is one of the Hebrews' children. Exodus, the 3rd chapter, verse 18. And they shall hearken to thy voice, and thou shalt come, thou and the elders of Israel, unto the king of Egypt, and ye shall say unto him, The Lord God of the Hebrews hath met with us, and now let us go, we beseech thee, 3 days' journey into the wilderness, that we may sacrifice to the Lord our God. Here we have a map of ancient Egypt, which includes Lower Egypt, and then we see the River Nile as it travels all the way up to the top of the map and branches off into the various tributaries, which make up the tributaries and even the cataracts. And on the right side, of course, we have the Sinai Peninsula. Depiction of Hebrew slaves in Egypt. Here we have depicted a Hebrew slave. Uh, Exodus, the 32nd chapter, verse 1 to 2. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, Up, make us gods, which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we want not what is become of him. Now, notice this picture of this Hebrew slave that's depicted in Egypt. You notice that Strong's Greek and Hebrew dictionary, the Hebrew word for girdle is abne. That'll be Strong's number 73, meaning a belt or a girdle. Exodus 39th chapter, verse 29, and a girdle of fine twined linen and blue and purple and scarlet of needlework as the Lord commanded Moses. And so we have here on the garments of the Hebrew slaves that are depicted in Egypt, Numbers the 15th chapter, verse 37 to 38. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations. Strong's Greek and Hebrew dictionary number 6734, which is tzitzit, a tassel, or translated a tassel, fringe, or lock. And here we have another depiction of Hebrew slaves as they are performing their tasks as a slave, carrying various and different food items and drink. And here again, we have a picture here. We have pictured here Hebrew slaves. Now the Europeans call them Nubians when they are actually the true Jews or Hebrew Israelites that were enslaved in Egypt. And here again, we have Hebrew slaves as they were pictured on the walls or in the temples of the Egyptians. So now next, the children of Israel's racial identity and their skin complexion and color as it is seen in the scriptures. First, we have Miriam as you remember, female black Bible character. Numbers, the 12th chapter, verse 10. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. So now, we're dealing with Miriam's skin color and complexion. Again, we know Miriam was a black woman because of the way God punished her for causing an insurrection against Moses with her brother Aaron. She became a leper, and we know that this disease turns the flesh white. So what was her original skin color before God caused her to be a leper? Well, we know the difference because Aaron, when he saw that his sister became leprous, she was leprous, white as snow, meaning that before she became a leopard and turned white, she was already originally black. And here again, we have Hebrews who have became leopards. 2 Kings, the 5th chapter, verse 27. The leprosy, therefore, of Naaman shall cleave unto thee, and unto thy seed forever. And he went out from his presence a leper, as white as snow, meaning that his original skin color had to be black. So Gehazi, Elisha's servant, and this is who we're talking about, as well as Elisha himself, were black men as well. When he disobeyed the prophet, he who was a black man became a leper, white as snow, and his whole generation as well. And we also have Job, another famous Bible character. In Job, the 30th chapter and the 30th verse, it says, "My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burned with heat." So we continue on to our next slide presentation.
When I'm not